Cool. Right, fantastic. Well, it looks, oops, forgot to hide that, forgot to put that on video. I really do need to follow a checklist. Hi, Leanne, how are you this morning?
I'm good, thank you, honey. And you?
Good, yeah. Going well. It's a beautiful day out there now. It's changed from what it was this morning. It looked like it was going to be a bit cloudy and iffy weather-wise, but it's gorgeous at the moment. So I'm feeling alive and fresh, and what more can we enjoy?
Nice.
Yes, feels good.
I love this weather.
Yeah, well, I did go for a walk, not yesterday because I was buggered. It was the day before we took the dog for a walk down the beach. It was the shortest of walk from one set of the access steps to the next step. That was what I call our access steps, climbing up them. Tremendous say, God, I buggered myself out. I haven't been walking for a while, and it's indicated I need to go on it. Yeah, really did.
I'm about to go out and do about 3 hours of walking this afternoon, so I'm looking forward to it, but I don't think my legs will.
No. Now, make sure if you're walking outside in the sunshine and the rest that you are going to take enough water, because we did have an interesting call last night. Now, it was one of my children, daughter, who does a lot of exercise, and she'd actually been in a faint, like collapse faint type thing. You know, it's just that what she had, and taken to a hospital emergency department because of that, because the GP thought it needed that investigation, which is fine.
Yeah.
And the end result being that we ended up needing to pick her up, because when you go on an ambulance trip, you don't have your car there. So
that's it.
After it all.
Yeah.
End result was too much exercise over time, that she hadn't actually been drinking enough water. And there was dehydration factor around it, more a long-termish type thing. But be wary whenever you go exercising. If it's just walking, she happened to be running, but if it's just walking, do still take enough water that you're going to be hydrated enough, and continue that for every day, whether you're exercising or not, because that was her lesson in that. And
that's it.
Yeah, it was one of those funny this morning.
Yeah,
just dream.
I like to usually try and carry water. Sorry, Ros, I thought you'd finished.
No, I was leading into, like, you know, how I said, well, what are we going to talk about today? Dream. And then I thought, well, I haven't got my dream symbol dictionary or book. I have got one somewhere, but I think it's still back at Menengi, or it's somewhere in a box here. I don't know. But, I mean, we sort of know roughly what it means for ourselves when we do actually have dreams, because of what had occurred last night. You know, those early hours of the morning when you get up for the first relief, and I like to get back to bed again because that seems to be fairly early, and you get back into that dozy dream state. The ones that you sometimes do tend to remember, and I did remember this one. And I thought, oh my, I'm not sure if I quite like that. It had a little bit of aggression. It had a little bit of, oh, I'm sorry. It had a little bit of, I needed forgiveness, and from me too. And it was it was very interesting in, you know, how we do carry what was yesterday, you know, our daily events into our dream state sometimes. Have you found that?
Yeah, so quite often, especially when I'm tired.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ros, what was that? It dropped
out. What's your experiences with dreams? You know, do you have anything you could specifically say? Wow.
I do sort of dream at times. I think for me, a lot of the time, because I ask Spirit to stay out of my bedroom at night time, so I set my boundaries with that so they don't wake me up. And if they do, I know it's urgent, so I've got to take note type of thing. I do get times that I have dreams, but I feel like I am looking at it through my eyes, but I know it's not my body in that way. So I experience things and see things and stuff like that. Most times there is somebody in that dream that I know or I recognize. Not always, but I know when I was in my early adulthood and I was working very long hours at work, I would go home, collapse into bed, and I would literally sit up in bed, and it was like I was doing the movements of what I was doing at work, but I was doing it in my dreams, but physically, body-wise, doing it as well. So it's quite interesting in the way that we do dream. So I find a lot of times that we do connect with loved ones in our dreams as well, which is great. Is that pure dream, that no expectations, you're open, you're relaxed. It's amazing. I think you're muted, Ros.
Yeah, it was, because I was typing that message just going across.
I love it.
Yes, from my, the one that I had this morning, it really did feel to me like it was a message to say, look, forgive yourself for it. It's a long time ago. Only because part of the dream was, as we dropped her home and the rest, she's got lots of the plastic, the 1 or 2 litre, the water bottles, just straight water bottles.
Yeah.
I said, cool, you've got a few of those. You should be using just a recyclable one. She said, I do. I use them a lot of times. I keep filling them and using them. I said, no, you know what I mean. And the funny thing was that in the dream, I was holding one of those that was, there wasn't much water in her, and it was nearly empty. And I'm feeling, we were getting sheep in. It was just a really weird dream because, she's done a lot of sheep work. I've done a lot of sheep work on farms as a kid and as an adult, whatever. I was holding it, upside down, probably to, I don't know, tap the sheep. I don't know why I was holding this bottle upside down, but I bonked her with it. And then I bonked her again. She irritated me. She wasn't being helpful and doing what she was told. Things that go through your mind, and you sort of think, sorry, because in that second one, it was a clunk collapse almost past. Oh, well, I think she, the loss of consciousness or something, and I thought I'd killed her or something. Plastic bottle. But it was just that whole process, and you sort of think, what, as far as dreams go, we get messages through our dreams.
Yeah, and as you know, and I know, our dreams aren't straightforward. They don't always have the same meaning. So when Ros said about the sheep, my first thing my mind did was okay, so what does sheep mean to Ros? I know, you're both grown up in the farm sort of environment, but what does a sheep mean to you?
Oh, the sheep mean? Well, it's actually, when you think about it, sheep, when we were kids, we just thought they're dumb animals, because as soon as you go trying to go move them from one paddock to the other, they will follow the leaders. I've got only 3 bars on this, so it'd be interesting to see what the quality is on the recording. So mark that time.
Yeah, well, you're a little bit blurry to me and sort of breaking in and out, but that's okay. I can still hear you and see you.
Oh, good. Because I haven't seen that. This is Ethernet, like it's corded direct to the modem. So, it should be better than that. Anyway, there must be a lot of people on. And I just realised then too that I was on the host chat, not the public, to see the comments, and wondering, why isn't there anyone commenting? Duh. So, sorry, people, that's why I haven't put your names up as the hellos yet. Sheep really do mean for me that bit of, they're a dumb animal, but they're not actually, because it's the whole nature of how they protect themselves. So it's in that, it was lovely days. I really enjoyed working with the sheep when we were kids most of the time. A lot of the time I didn't, because it's hard work, especially when you're tailing or doing mulesing and stuff like that. You'd have to lift them up. I mean, I was a strong kid. I could lift the lambs up and hold them while Dad or my brother did what was required.
And,
you know, you'd lift them back over and put them in that, and drafting and all the rest of it. Now, paddock work, I really loved it. So for me, it's that, you know, it's the sharing of resources. It's the sharing of tasks in a way that creates the resources that we use. So it sort of feels a nice fluffy thing, like you're actually, once you've shorn a sheep and you're putting that fleece on the table and you're rolling it up to be bagged, you jump into it, and it was that beautiful softness like a cloud. So for me, that's probably more what the feeling is that safety, that feeling of comfort in that cloudiness of their raw wool on the clean side, obviously, the bit that was next to it. So lovely. And while we're just chatting on, instead of saying hello to everyone, I'll say hello to everyone and just flip the names through rather than mention everyone.
Yeah. Because I find that really interesting to see what your interpretation and what the sheep means to you, but then you're banging your daughter on the head with water, the water bottle. But do you think it sort of comes back to she needs to nurture her self a little bit better? She knows better with the hydration side of it.
Yeah, that's the lesson that she's needing to learn. She realised. I mean, I won't go through the medical details and the physiology of it because that's her business, not anyone else's. But it's safe to say the lesson is that there needs to be more water consumed. She does need to drink more water when she does plan as almost a daily thing to actually do a lot of exercise. She's very active. Just done it. So,
and that's the thing. And I know it would be safe to say we've all been there at some time and been dehydrated. I know I have. And, you know, that's part of my migraines is with the vomiting, I get to that dehydrated stage type of thing. So, you know, and I think it's great to have that reminder to drink more water because I know I've been a bit slack on it lately, but we've gone from this cooler weather, but it's still quite humid, to this warmer, hey, Simone, I hope you're feeling better today, honey, and to this warmer weather sort of thing that is really knocking us with that side of it. So, hey, Annette. So, so it's really interesting.
Yep, and I saw that too from the Annette. Hi, Rebecca.
Hey, honey.
Because sometimes it does mean that we're actually needing to have, we do tend to ignore what are the small messages first to us. We let it build and get it to when we have that kick in the ass, basically, to say, hang on, watch it. You're going to be in the danger zone next if you don't listen to me, type of thing. You know? That's what it's.
And my body's good at doing that.
I think it's see, a lot of these have the questions attached to it. I'm going to finish there with the welcome. It's like there was I don't know whether you call it a joke or not, but anyway, it was around flooding, and there's this bloke that's actually sitting on the rooftop of his house, and he was, you know, it was up to nearly the eaves. He had nowhere to go. He couldn't do anything, and he needed saving. So he was praying to God, please, God, can you send me some help? Well, a bloke came up in a rowboat first and was willing to, he was there to help him. And the guy said, no, look, God's sending me some help. So off he rode.
Not that could be the help.
The next thing was the helicopter came and was going to airlift him off, type of thing, because the water was still rising. And he said, no, it's all right. God's sending me help. And then there was nothing, and he was swept away and drowned. And at the pearly gates, he sort of asked, God, why don't you send me help? Well, what do you want, a rowboat and a helicopter? What else was there? You refused both. It's that sort of idea. We are missing the messages. Hang on, please take notice.
And that's the thing. It's not just the messages in the dreams either, because we get daily messages from spirit, from our guides and different ones like that. It's those things that catch our eye. I always say to people, take note.
Yeah.
What does it feel to you? Where's your mind go before your monkey mind steps in and questions it?
Yeah.
Trust.
Yeah. Definitely that. Is something, and I was only just reading something. What was it I was reading? I can't remember the title of the book. I'm currently reading it. It's to do with medical intuitive. Who wrote that?
Oh, Anthony. Anthony Williams,
Yeah,
medical medium.
I don't reckon it's medical medium. I think it's medical intuitive. So I think that's Carolyn Miss one, MYSS.
Oh, could be. Yep.
She's quite a mature lady. Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Got a notification showed up. Yeah, sorry. I think by now she's probably, I'm pretty sure she might be just a little older than me, but I'm not 100% sure. But she's been doing that type of thing, soul contract and some other work. But I'm currently reading the medical intuitive purely because I do sometimes sense what others have, you know, and I want to see, oh, can you actually grow this? You can learn anything.
Yeah, definitely.
It is something that you can grow and develop. And I sort of thought, well, one of the things was just don't get your thought into it at all first. You know, you take that absolute instant, what it is you're getting when you're tuning in, that's the message. Don't start thinking about it. You take what that message is. And especially, you know, those instances you're saying about doing the, you know, the things that we can hear. See, I do things in three. So if I've heard a song 3 times, it's meant to mean something. It is, you know, that type of thing as well. So
yeah. And that's the thing. If we set our intentions and we put it out to them to show us this in this way, they're going to give it to you. You know, I think one of the books I was reading, they were looking at it for a new house, and she asked to see an owl. And when she got to this one house, there happened to be a book in the bookshelf, and it was facing forward, and there was an owl on the front of the book. So, you know, it's not something you would just get anywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really weird. That just brought to mind something that came back from when I was a lot younger. You know, when you said set your intention and, you know, creating what you want. And it can mean, I'm thinking of an instance where I was told, I didn't actually see this, but I was told with great reliability. And this was in the Christian context. And this is sometimes where people sort of is poo-poo the word for it? What's the word for it?
Push it to the side.
They go, yeah, really.
Yeah.
About what's fully Christian allowed, what's fully, you know, the other realms, the other beliefs and all the rest, because it seems to be that there is the Christian, there is the da-da-da, there is the da-da-da, you know, all of those different, you know, the Wiccan, the pagan, what do you call it, you know, the Hindi and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
You know, and that's is it all considered religion? But anyway, this instance was a bloke who, he was just playing out fencing, and he was, I don't know if he was by himself, but he was, the helper wasn't quite within reach to ask, and there was a hammer that he needed that was the other side, and he just called on God, can you please place the hammer, you know, closer or give it to me type of thing. And next thing it was in his hand. And you sort of think of that because that's a physical item, and it was retold so many times as if real, and I believe that that's probably what did happen. And you sort of think, wow, if he had that sort of intention and it worked, why is it that we are limiting ourselves? It's been a reminder of mine, you know, on and on over the years. Why can't I do it? You know, as far as you see that sort of thing happen in the magic fantasy movies with special effects, of course, and you know, timing and camera work and all the rest. Why can't it be something that we can do? If matter is all just vibration that we can rearrange as we want in our reality, why shouldn't it work? You know, so many questions that
Exactly.
come up, and then you get weird dreams that come into it. Is that really something that's teaching us all things are possible?
Yeah. And do you know what? With what I've only done a few hour workshop on dreams, and I know we go through 4 different states of our level of sleep in that dreaming and sort of energy with that. And it depends where you are in your sleep to where the dream sort of means. And off the top of my head, I can't name all 4 stages, but we get to a point that we are just so relaxed, we are so open. It's kind of like we surrender to allow that information to come through. So, whether you're dreaming of a loved one that's passed over in that dream, that to me, that is their soul that is there with them at that time. And I always say, just accept that dream. If your monkey mind steps in and you start questioning what it is, break it down like we did with Ros, with the meaning of the sheep. What does it mean to you? I'm a big believer on, like when Ros mentioned the religions and all the different belief systems and stuff, what truly is right. And in my belief, and this is only my interpretation of it, I believe what works for you is right. What feels right is for you. It's nobody else's place to judge or put that stuff onto you, or their belief system is what works for you in that way. And so it's trusting those dreams, sit with it, let it happen, let it resonate with you. Don't put too much into it in that sense, because I think, I don't know what's with you, but my feeling is that our monkey mind kicks in a lot and it takes over, and then we doubt and question it and lose that vision, that clarity of what the dream was about.
Absolutely. It's that doubt, it's the lack of trust in ourselves that we have popping up so often. And that's got a lot to do with our upbringing. It's got a lot to do with the people we interact with, because we do tend to listen to others for validation, clarification, and guidance in a way, because we like to feel within our norm. Otherwise, we're out of our comfort zone, and that's scary. It's what we need to do, though, to keep growing, move out of our comfort zone, and scratch ourselves and all the rest, which is why I like doing this. Live streaming isn't scary, but it can be.
It might have been the first couple of times we did it, Ros.
Oh, it's a long time ago. But it's still, every time, it is almost like getting on stage and feeling the nerves, because you would have that every time that you're doing your platform work. And
most times. Yeah. Can I just touch on that? Because it is really weird, because I do have shows, like at the moment I'm doing 2 a week with the Fringe, but I do have shows where the nerves will build up through the day. And once I get there and I get into the energy and I get started, it's fine. Other times, like Friday night, we had an amazing group of people, and there was so much laughter and tears and everything else. And it just felt so easy all day. It was just like it flowed. There was no nerves, no nothing. But my feeling is that I'm partly picking up on my audience before I get there. So if I've got an audience that is full of people with nerves, like I had a couple of ladies on Thursday night, and I think that was what I was sensing. So it's learning why we are feeling that way.
Yeah. And it's funny you say that. Why would you be nervous when you're actually in the audience?
That's it.
I can understand that, because I've been in an audience where there has been live readers besides yourself. I mean, years ago it was Doreen Virtue, was at one of hers, and it was the person next to me that got picked, but you still feel as nervous for them because you thought she was pointing to you and speaking to you. Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Interesting, isn't it?
Spirits just, I don't know why I need to bring this up, and this could be actually a reminder for myself. For some reason, I feel like I need just to remind people, do what it is that you do and be yourself in it. Don't allow others to bring their energy in on you, and you lose yourself in what you're doing. So I'm just getting that as a reminder, and I think partially that is for me as well. But I think a lot of people are feeling a bit lost at the moment and need to find themselves in what they're doing again.
Yeah,
perfect timing to bring that alignment back in.
Yeah, so true, because and that's something, as a mini experience that I found when I first started doing the live streams. You're trying to emulate somebody else and be bright, bubbly, lively, and all the rest, and with the huge grins and liveliness and using the hands and all sorts of things that you stage, and it felt fake. And I thought, no, I can't do this. I can't do it that way. I couldn't even in the end agree to putting makeup on because I was a host, and it was I was a co-host, and it was her show, and I was I said, look, I will wear makeup because that's what you actually prefer, like, and I'm fine with that. I will use it.
Yep.
And thankfully, that was many. It's going to now. I haven't used it since. Weddings that might have been in the family. I might wear it occasionally, but I might put it on one day to show you guys what it looks like on me.
I'm like you. I don't like makeup.
It feels uncomfortable.
Do you know what?
It feels like putting
and that was my thoughts exactly. What are we masking behind that makeup? I like to think what you see with me, and I know with what you see with Ros, what she is here today, I can guarantee that is what you get 24/7 sort of thing. So, we don't need to be fake. We just need to be ourselves.
Yeah, except I don't wash my hair every day. It's only early. That is home. That's it.
Hey, same here. Mine's still wet.
I'm going to just at this point. I'm going to just mention: can anyone that's on the other cross-posted channels? Channels. They're not channels. Pages. Because I have cross-posted to Leanne, Winston, Psychic Medium, Live Hub, Life. Oh, what's that one called? One of the Be Live ones, anyway.
Right.
My Ros Bounty page. If you are on either of those three, please do click on the link that says My Time TV, and I'm going to take this crawler thingy off because it's annoying. It takes space, and we don't need it taking space because we are going to move into some of the readings. Because most of you do enjoy having the readings. We enjoy doing them. But it's just something that, for me, it's not something that I want us to be getting into just straight away. You go bang, 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 reading, and all the rest. I mean, I know that you yourself have moved into a more chatty style of note, with your Wednesday night ones.
Yeah.
Because life is more than about just getting guidance from a thing that's outside. For myself, I would advise anybody to actually look within first. Take that pathway first, and if you still need a bit more clarification, that's where all the tools come in, is really handy and can be absolutely a verification of what you're feeling at your gut level, your own intuition. Use it to clarify more than just relying on something outside of yourself as being the only tool that you use. So that's just what I'm about.
And can I just add to that? That was perfect, because I seen a comment there from Dana Harris wanting to know, is a property stylist the right career for her? Honey, you know that answer, yes or no. What comes into your mind first up? Okay. And that's how we can go deeper in that. Ask yourself the question, ask for the expectations of a yes, no answer. The first thing that comes to mind, you trust that. Okay.
As I'm looking at that too, because you've done a few readings already for Dana, excuse me, I'm just going to have to get a tissue and then probably go off screen.
That's right. I love the flowers.
Isn't it gorgeous?
It is.
As you're saying that Dana, is that how it's pronounced, Dana? Am I medium or mentally unwell, and is the mental illness due to being empathic and taking others as my own? There's many ways that we actually receive our information, and it brings to mind, when you mention the mentally unwell, there's been so much misunderstanding around what mental health is too, in some respects, because it's just not allowing or accepting that each and every person is different. And is it really a mental disease or disability or something that autism is? You get measured and tested on this autistic scale and the rest. Can it just be that they have their gifts in different areas, and there can be those instances where they're actually highly sensitive to receiving the messages themselves from guidance and have the abilities in a much stronger way than what we even might understand. And it's not, we're so used to labeling everything that we have to have an answer as a label for something. Allow and help others in discovering what is their strengths instead of putting it down as a weakness. That irritates me, because we each have all of our different areas of strength. And, like Leanne said, I'm feeling, look, what you believe is going to be true. It's just my summary on that one. If you think you're mentally unwell, that's what you're going to be, because you've created that intention.
Yeah. And
sorry, but it's there of the positive. No, you've got some really great developing talent there.
And knowing Dana for now a while as a client, and she's obviously okay with me talking about this because she's asked the question. Dana, for yourself, knowing you, I think there's a bit of both. And my feeling is there is things that happen in your life that is very strong mediumship stuff. And then there are other things in your life that does become more within that loose mental health side of it. So, I have seen those sides of you, Dana. So to me, it's really important for you to know what you're going through, because I know you're medicated as well, with your medication, what's going on, how regular you are with that side of it. It is also knowing what is spirit and what's not, sort of thing. So for me, Dana, with you, it is a little bit more of a finer line. But I guess the biggest point I want to make is, honey, you need to assess that for what it is in that moment, not overall type of thing. And to add to that, because when we get into those mindsets, now we all do it, we become very focused on one thing. I want you to also listen to those people around you, your support system. And if they are seeing those changes in you in the mental health way, that's where you need to focus on that. If it feels like it's mediumship and you've got that clarity, and through the training that we've done together, you should be now starting to be able to recognize what is the difference type of thing. All right. So it is really what is in that moment. Okay.
Yes. Yes, just have a little alert here from Carissa as far as please talk cautiously when it comes to mental health. A lot of damage can be caused otherwise. It certainly can, exactly. But that's why we do mention, well, didn't this time, we're not medical professionals. What we experience, what we share is experience from our life experiences and what workshops or trainings or otherwise that we have done. I have done a reasonable amount of coursework in therapy, so I was being cautious. Thank you, though, for the around.
You know what? If anybody has any doubts, please reach out to your medical professional or your support team in any way. There are things there in place to help people.
Yeah, and there are a few other messages there. I won't put that one on the screen. As far as that help system can be, you just did talk with Grace. Yes, thank you for that. Now, as I'm going back trying to find the first comment that might be something we can actually do a little reading on, flaming things keep scrolling right off the top. I can't get back to those first ones. And I thought, no, I'll do it so that we have the first ones who've been waiting the longest will get the first reading. I'm so sorry, but you won't be because this is the first one. The rest have just scrolled off on me. So I fully understand what you mean on the Wednesday nights when you have the comments scrolling away.
It's crazy because I can only go, that's my first one now too, 10:36 that I can go back to. So, there's 6 minutes of comments that aren't showing, which I think most of them were the hellos. We did have an early bird there. So hello to the early bird that joined in.
Well, I'm sorry, I'll go back to some of those if I can manage to do that before I get back to Meningie, which I might have to do when I'm back there and set up again because I'm taking the Mac with me this time. I'm going back to stay until the house is sold. I thought, it's a sensible thing to do.
Oh, you're taking the Mac back to Meningie?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So
Wi-Fi though, that'll be interesting.
So we're going to get the house sold quickly, people, if you're interested.
The box in the corner, wherever it is, below my arm, that's there ready to put it. Put in the car. I'm thinking, no, I can't do without it.
No, you get so used to things, don't you?
Yes. That's interesting that even that comment that I've got tagged there is gone scrolling off the screen. So, hi, beautiful ladies. How are you both? Well, we've already said that. Do you see me having this baby this week or next? I'm so over being sick.
Next. Sorry, honey, next. I feel your pain.
Oh, dear. And Shani, what we do like to ask is that you actually be a little more specific and just, can you please have a reading, or is there any message? Well, the messages from Dad, I'm still going to leave it to you, Leanne.
Okay. Can I just touch on the last one with feeling sick? Honey, for your energy, I kind of felt like I wanted to be snacking on dry biscuits, not a lot, but just small amounts in regular periods sort of thing. So maybe every hour or so, just nibble on something in that dry form. Like I wanted to put yo-yo biscuits in front of you and not having milk and stuff like that. So, yeah. All right. So with this one, okay, straight away, honey, as I started to read your question and connect with your energy, I was feeling my lungs sort of struggling a little bit. So I do feel Dad had chest, heart, lung area with that side of it. So I do feel my breathing is a bit laboured with his energy. He's got his hand on his heart, which is my sign for love and pride for you. I do feel Dad had aches and pains everywhere because my whole body all of a sudden is aching with his energy. I know some of that is my own body pain. Hey, Ros. I love it. Ros is peeping around the corner. That was perfect, Ros. Now, honey, I'm actually drawn to Ros's energy with that. So whether life has become too serious for you and there is the need for more laughter, more fun at the moment, I do get the reference to you are heading in the right direction. And Dad says you need to start trusting in your gut instincts more so with that. But no, there's a lot of pride. There's a lot of love that comes through for him. All right. He's a bit of a character too, I think. That was hilarious, Ros. It was just like,
and I thought, I might just see if I can reach round the corner.
Well, you had it perfect there for a minute, so when you have to watch the replay and mark that time frame as well.
I might have to do a little snapshot of that. Yeah.
I reckon that was cute.
Yeah. So another hello to us, but will he admit everything in court tomorrow, please, ladies? As I scrolled down and saw that, I thought, nah.
I got no too. No. Yeah. Honey, and does he need to admit everything in court? Because in your heart of hearts, you know the answers, you know the truth, all right? Do you really need him to say that stuff? Okay? You can heal without that. Okay?
Yep. And Taylor, see, this is where I start to get thinking, not that we've done many yet, but have we done one or not yet? Anyway, going through a lot at the moment. So am I able to please have a card or any messages today? I'm just going to pick a card like this today because what I've got here is the cards like this, just in a pile. So I'm going to do that one and just sit them like that. It's the dog. Oh, gee bugger. The fan. You can see the fan.
Okay.
Like you said earlier, Leanne, it is humid today. So I did have to put the fan on. So apologies for that little fritzy bit. Hopefully, no, there. Does that stop it a bit? Not really. But anyway.
It's okay. It's not much.
She'll be right.
That's it.
Oh, I know what. Put it down there a bit. Oh, no, you see it. That's like a helicopter taken off.
Made the dog look like it was in action.
So what I'm feeling, look, you need to be able to, it senses a bit of patience in what you're going through at the moment, but also trusting and put your self-love action thingy in place. That's what I'm feeling. It's not so much because dogs just love unconditionally, and I'm feeling you need to be doing that for yourself as well. But what I'm getting mostly is the patience. What are you picking up?
Yeah. I actually feel like kind of you need to ground yourself as well. So just ground, feel your feet on the ground, bring your thought process from your head down to your feet, and just take some nice, slow, deep breaths. That's going to bring clarity in. Okay.
good. And yep, there's lots that have flipped off again. And there you go. It really is a lucky tip.
It is what it is, what it's meant to be for the day.
Marie, hello, ladies. Can you tell me what the next month will be like emotionally? Whatever you want it to be. Oh, sorry.
And that's the thing. We do have a bit of control over things, but my feeling is to start the month off, I do have a build-up of emotions. Now, in saying that, I'm a big believer in the emotions need to come out as a release. It is a emotional release movement type of thing, and that is then going to start moving that energy rather than having it manifesting. All right, so do you feel that Ross is jumping around down there? It is going to be that little bit of emotional side to it, but it's going to get better as things move.
And also, as I was shuffling the cards, it's almost like the light's too bright this morning, and it's only from the window, unless I have got one on. Oh, I have got one on behind there, because they shoot up to the ceiling and reflect down. That's why I can see the fan more as well.
Oh, okay.
That's actually the park, and it's really going bright, isn't it? So is this where you were saying about grounding?
No, that was the lady before.
That was the lady before. Well, this one is a bit more about it is a card around grounding and being out in nature as well. So because I was busy trying to find the card on the floor, I wasn't actually listening to what you'd actually said to Marie. So it is around, like, that's part and added on to what Leanne said. Okay. Yes.
When the emotion's been released, it's going to be a walk in the park. There you go. I did say things are going to get easy once you acknowledge those emotions and release them.
Yes, that's good. So. I like that. Now, I also noticed use. It's language here. Shani, have we had one? Oh, we have.
I think we have, yes.
Also, I noticed you were talking about, this is spelling, sorry, I'm a proofreader. Also, I noticed you were talking about dreams, and I've been having some dreams that have been mixed up. How can I video call you private? That's where you book into whichever you are actually attracted to of us or a dream interpreter. Look, it doesn't matter. Go where you feel most attracted to, that feels right with your energy, because both of us might have slightly different ways of interpreting and helping. So use your intuition. So, and that's the same with anyone that needs a different type of therapy help, and you don't know where to look, that you haven't got any references from other people to know who do you recommend and the rest. To use that heart center of your own, move into that inner space and ask your soul center, ask that higher self. I mean, there's many different ways that people have taught these types of things using different language. Go inside, check out with that inner self that is you, that soul center, and just ask, just guide me. Give me a sign that I need to go to this one or that one of, if you're looking at a list of choices on a page. Even if you really feel like you need to, write them in a circle and use a pendulum, and you'll have the pendulum point to it. As a tool.
Lots of ways.
Ways. Yeah.
I did see a comment there from Jessica, which has just popped off the screen as well, so I can't scroll back far enough. But she was talking about her dreams with deja vu. Now, is the deja vu that you've had that dream before? My feeling is that dream is more a past life connection type of thing, so that's why you've got that deja vu feeling.
Okay. Yeah, a similar thing that Belinda's shared here as well, that she was having recurring dreams at least 3 times a week, and I do find that 3 is an important number. It has always been in my life. That kept losing your 3-year-old granddaughter in a crowd. It's scary. And then back in late November, you've got what you've done there, but at the end of that you've put up, you said, but I now know what the dream meant. So sometimes you don't actually have to know the details, so long as you just know it's resolved, and you wake up knowing that there's been something that's been worked through in that subconscious nighttime, what we do.
And I quite often get asked by different people that they may have a dream, but they keep having the same dream over and over. Like, obviously, like Rod says, she does ask for things in threes, and that's totally fine. But sometimes if you keep having that dream and you've got no reason why to keep having it, I suggest people write it down. Write down what they remember, what they know of that dream to that far, because when you acknowledge it, it's very possible that they may allow you to move into the next part of that dream or that message that comes with it. Yeah.
Yeah. And hi, Darlene. You've been unwell now for over 2 months. Can't get a proper diagnosis. Will you get better? I don't know, as long as you're feeling that there is some doubt around what your health is. Because reading that medical intuitive book, there is some ways of just scanning your own body, even as practice, in the task of learning to be a better medical intuitive, actually. But it's still, we can do a lot for ourselves that is scanning for ourselves and feeling, really honing in where is the issue and then working with it. I do sound therapy, and I really do feel the benefits of using just sound vibration before going anywhere. So, but it still, have you been to the correct doctors? You know, sometimes they specialise in different areas of, you know, what's happening in a body.
Yeah.
Yeah. What are you feeling?
I'm with Ros, honey. I want to say sit with your body and feel yourself connect in that sense, because sometimes we are disconnected in that way. I can quite often walk into a doctor and tell the doctor what is wrong with me, and 99% of the time I'm right, sort of thing. So, and that is just because I've learned to listen and connect with my body in that sense. So like Ros says, sit there, visualize your body layer by layer, cell by cell, to where you're drawn to. I also want to say, honey, what is it that you, and this is where I'm also drawn to, what is it that you're holding on to from the past? Okay. Because quite often when they can't diagnose things, I always like to look at what is in the energy field. What is it that you've held on to for such a period of time? Because what that sits in our energy field is our body, our physical says enough is enough. I'm going to create the health issues and I need to let go of it. I've seen in clients when I've worked with them through issues in their life. So if it's stomach, lower pelvis area issues, quite often you jump to the mother issues or the mothering, whether it's your mother or somebody else in that sort of thing. And when you start breaking down and working through that fear or that issue that has sat there and finding peace and healing from it, the body reacts differently. Okay.
Yeah.
So look at the emotional side of things as well, not just the physical.
And it can be something that's come from whether ancestry or past life, just depending which way you understand that.
That's it.
Yes, they are slightly different.
I remember one client that had a lot of self-confident issues, and she took on the blame for, she had to put her sister into a nursing home, and that's what her sister needed. And there were things with mum and family and different stuff that she'd held on for years and just didn't feel that she was good enough. She had so much physical pain and restrictive. When we broke down over a period of time and she did the work on herself, I remember getting this SMS from her on, I think it was a weekend. She's like, oh my God, I've spent 2 days mowing my backyard, all the weeds that I've never been able to manage myself, and I've still got energy. I still, like, there is no pain. Usually she'd go out there for half an hour or 15 minutes, and that was it. She would have to go and lay down. So moving that emotional pain that and trauma that she had held on to was playing a big part of her physical body. So I want to say that's not for everybody. It's everybody is individual, and it needs to be assessed on an individual level.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's so right. And certainly if the symptoms continue, I mean, we do have trained medical professionals. We do have trained alternative therapy people around too. There's ways and means around helping the physical, but still the work on that inner being of who we are and why things are carried through.
And if you're doing that work and you're finding things and feeling things, ask the questions to your doctor. Just because the tests are coming back that, that there's nothing there, doesn't mean that there's not something else. And you trigger a thought in your doctor, well, we could test for this by asking a certain question. So, it goes a long way by asking questions and speaking up.
Yeah, it does. And the one I was going to click on went and whizzed past, and so did this, so I can't really get out of order. That's an interesting
that caught my eye.
Even with that, right? Hi, lovelies. Hope you're both well. Finally ended up having a breakdown and took myself to hospital Friday. Lots of work to do. Will things be better soon? Also, will things sort themselves out with my ex? Look, they are intermingled. But you putting that out of order, as cute as it actually seems to be, you've actually instantly set the intention to be out of order. So get rid of it. Yeah. Let it go, because you're hanging on to stuff. And I'm feeling myself that sorting things out with your ex won't sort out until you've actually sorted a bit more of your inner self out, is what I'm feeling there. So, yeah, breakdowns are shitty to go through. Not that I have. I've witnessed in my family something that had happened that was a breakdown. And I thought instantly, no, look, it does need some of that very gentle inner work. Don't be hard on yourself. But I'm seeing that out of order. It does look cute, but get rid of it.
Yeah. That's it. I agree with Ros. It is cute. And, the first thought is like, I'm out of order. I think what you're in the tensions that you're trying to do with that, in a sense, is that you're trying to set your boundaries, or you're wanting to set your boundaries and you don't know how to do it. Okay. Just because you've had that breakdown, honey, it's your body pushing you to nurture you. Things have got to change. All right. So well done for acknowledging that you are having that breakdown. You've taken yourself off to hospital, so you're wanting to make change. Sometimes we want to make change and we don't know how to go around it. You've asked for help. That is a big step. All right. So let's take it back to you. Let's focus on you. Forget about the ex and everything else that you've got going on around you. That's going to be there tomorrow, next week, whatever. When you focus on you and you get yourself right, my feeling is that stuff is going to sort itself out, because what you've been doing is you're in that negative mindset. You're playing into the drama that your ex is putting out there and you're reacting to it. Okay. And it's so easy to do without us even realizing we're doing it. A lot of us do it. Okay. So don't pull into their energy. Be you. Put you first and you're going to be fine. Everything will work out. All right. Nurture you. This whole year, everybody, is about nurturing us. It's what we're passionate about. It's about putting ourselves first, not being anything or everything that everybody else wants us to be, the expectations or whatever. We need to be balanced in our own life and in control of our own life. And then everything else will fall into place. Those that want drama in their lives will start to back off, because we are focused and we are demanding that balance in our lives. And that's what I've chosen to do this year. It's already been tested a few times, but it's pulling yourself out of that and realigning yourself with the universe.
And that is going to be the thing. It does take that little bit of a seesaw, like it'll be ripples, it'll be seesaw. And all the rest of it.
It's actually, sorry, Ros, it's actually interesting because the last couple of weeks with clients, I am seeing that really in heightened energy. There's a lot of emotion. There's people are feeling like they've lost control. They don't know where to go, where they fit anymore. All right. I think we've been tested for a reason. It's about letting go, so we are moving forward and being pushed to move forward.
Yeah. Exactly, yeah. And directions, wanting guidance and direction. So it's lovely to have people coming in to ask questions, because it is a form of getting help. Just it is gauging that. Where do you get help from? And Sarah, you're feeling that you're a tad lost. So
yeah.
What direction are you wanting to go in? Where's your main emphasis? What's your heart feeling around that? Instead of trying to find it in a conglomeration that feels like jellyfish tentacles or something that just float around, start the process with the intention, what you actually do want to do. You need to actually control that direction and not let it just keep floating around, but control it. Start to move, because most of the time I feel that the jelly, using that example with the jellyfish and it's, are they tentacles on a jellyfish? I suppose
I think so. Yeah.
Once they actually start moving forward and in the flow, you see them pumping up like that through the water, and those tentacles follow through straight. So that's following a purpose. They're actually moving and flowing through. So, you do need to get that sense of face your eyes one way instead of looking all over and, try to gather them in. Start the movement forward and you'll actually get in the flow and find your direction.
Yeah. And I think when we get to that point, it's really important, especially when things are really in heighten, just to stop and breathe and feel the ground under our feet and realign our energy, open our chakras, because we get so out of whack, and that just heightens everything and makes it 5 times, 10 times, 10x worse type of thing. So just stop. Have that moment for you.
That light from the window's gotten brighter and brighter. So hold it that
The sun's
way.
coming over.
That was the one sitting on the top as we were talking. I thought, I've got to pull this up. And it is the birds. It's communication too, and finding the right thing. The owls are the wise bird, so that's why that's pulled instead of being just the birds from the ordinary deck. It's you finding your wisdom, your direction in that way. It is that inner guidance as well.
Yes. And it's funny when Ros said that, because I felt like you're impacted by others, honey. So who's trying to push their beliefs, their expectations onto you? Bring it back to you. Okay?
And I've just flicked and saw Barbara's.
Hey, beautiful lady.
Is there any messages from her beautiful son today? And I dare say he's on the other side wanting to come.
Yeah. Yeah.
Honey,
yeah. You're going to leave me with that one? I thought you were. Honey, the moment I read your question, I just felt at peace. I just felt like I need to take a breath, and I just need to enjoy the sunshine, the fresh air side of it as well. So whether you have been through a lot lately and things are now starting to settle down, it's time just to slow down, take a step back, and just breathe, okay? He wants you to find the peace in that, because he's very much at peace. I want to go and sit out in the garden. So, where you are with this snow, go and sit out there nice and warm and enjoy the sunshine, the fresh air, the breath, okay? Wow. Feel alive, breathe in the air.
Great. I'm not going to cough again. Excuse, I don't think it needed me to go off that time. I just saw this one from Nita. So, hi, Nita. And I did shuffle the cards as I was doing the bit. Oh, except I need to show the flaming thing, don't I? I was showing it to you, but I didn't have the video turned on. So there you go. What you've got is the well. What are you wishing for? I'm feeling that in this context, normally the well isn't about the wishing well as such. It is a well. A well is a functional item that, before the days of when you had reticulated water, as in pipelines everywhere all over the country, you actually had to dig a well or have a bore that you'd put a pump on. This isn't as convenient and easy as a bore. It is actually meaning looking in, checking you've got water in the bottom, wind the handle, get the bucket down, bring the water up. I'm just seeing that golden light in that background through that bucket and the rest, and saying, don't make it as hard a work as you're feeling that it's that you're making out of it. It is actually easy, because the down trip for that bucket to actually search, get the resources, get what's within you. It can be so easy by just letting that roll down by its own weight. You don't have to work so hard at that. And depending on what weight you're wanting to lift off, it can probably be a bit hard on that wheel, the handle, to bring it back up again if you're getting rid of some extra heavy stuff. And I'm talking inner work here, to bring that sunshine, bring it out into the light, and have that healing of the light activate. That's what I'm sensing from that. So do you have anything more from that?
I think you did very well. Cool. I don't have anything else to add. I totally agree with it.
Yeah. So
I think you covered it well.
And the next one is from Meg. I thought, well, will your mum recover this time? So I'm gathering she is very, very unwell if you're feeling that it's coming close to her not coming out.
I get, yes. Yeah. Okay. Now,
there's a bit of iffiness for myself that she is unwell. Yeah,
she is unwell, and I'm a big believer in we aren't meant to know about death until what happens, because how do we live life expecting that to happen? So things that I have very strong views and guidelines set with my guides. Answering that, I got, yes, mum's not going to be the same again. So to me, it's a feeling that mum has taken a hit this time, whether there's complications or she's not getting back to where she was prior to coming into this illness this time. All right. I get the slow deterioration there. Okay. I get enjoy the time you have with mum, because it could be this year, it could be next. I don't know. But I just get it is about maintaining it and trying to find a stable balance for that period of like where you're at now. Okay with her?
Yeah. What I felt was, look, it's not going to be much longer. So treasure the time that you have, because even in death there is release. So it's that time that you have, make it special as much as you can between the two of you, because it's one of those things, as I was looking after my mum in those end days, because she happened to have a physical thing that really ended up taking her. It's that, don't look back and think, I could have, I should have, because I did have the thought in one moment thinking I didn't hug her enough because I was staying so strong so that she didn't go through that trauma after Dad's death. So it is something that, act on it now. Be who you want to be with your mum, and find those treasured moments in what space you've got and share that love. So I'm just going to leave it there, otherwise I'll end up bawling.
Well said. Yeah.
Because it is a special time to spend with your mum in end days. It really is. I just noticed the time. Oops. Oh, goodness. Can we have a lucky laugh?
We can.
You're guided to, Leanne, and I'll see if I can find it in what kind.
All right. I'm just going to flick. I haven't read it. Zoe Nichols.
What timestamp?
11:03. How's that?
Right. Let me see if I can find it.
I haven't even read the question yet.
Oh, God. Where's 11:03? Have I got it? Oh, I must have there some. Yes, there we go. Hi, lady.
Okay.
I'm wondering if I'm on the right path career-wise, or if you see me working somewhere else.
I get trust in yourself, because I do feel you are where you need to be. It's just, stop questioning everything, honey. Just be in the moment. Okay.
Yeah. I'm just quickly shuffling the cards, which you can hear because I didn't from the previous one. I'm just flipping it over and showing it up. It did it, yes, and holding it up because of that glare. You've got the birds from the original part of the deck. So this actually shows, where we had the owl before, this is the birds that is around communication and it's working as a team to a degree, even though in this one it can get to a point sometimes. You've got to be careful of the gossipy stuff and don't believe everything you hear. But it certainly is around communication. And if you're wanting to have a change, express that to that inner self and ask for it. Is it the right thing for me or not? Okay. Or if you're feeling that you are actually loving what you're doing and it's something you enjoy going to, then you're probably on the right career path. And follow that. Ask others what they might suggest as an alternative if you can't see that for yourself even. But just be wary of that too much reliance on someone else's opinion. Take it like the wise owl, though, even though this one isn't. But it is around that communication and cooperation with others and things like that. So that's sort of yeah.
I just noticed we've got a couple of new viewers that are new to the show, so welcome everyone.
All right.
It's new.
So I will move on. Cool. A lot there. So yeah, thanks so much from Sarah and from Barbara, and thank you. Oh, dear. No, do I do that one? It just seems I've recently cut my mum off. I've been her mother since I was very young, and I'm wanting to cut my dad off. But my heart's telling me with both of them it's the right thing. Right, right. Oh, this, but my head tell me that it's the wrong thing. Look, you've just got to go with that inner guidance and decide that what you're doing is right for you, because ultimately, even though we love our parents, because we do, there's an innate inbuilt love, even though we might express that we've got different emotions around behaviours and that have caused us to feel that way. It's still our humanness is love. That core centre of us is love. We've just forgotten it. So work through that for yourself too, and find that love of self. Work on that is just what I'm feeling with that. I just need to answer that one.
That's it.
Yeah.
And I think in general, it's really important for you to do what is right for you. Yeah. Sit with that decision for a moment before you take action, because if that decision is the right one, you're going to feel that weight lift off your shoulders, okay? It doesn't mean, like Ross says, it doesn't mean that you stop loving them, because that is always going to be there. It's the clouded stuff around that sort of buries that side of it, okay?
Thank you. And thank you, Leanne. Now, we are going to end the readings there, but I've got a slightly different finish that I'm playing around with today, purely because it's been in the studio too for quite a while. And to all those who are out there that are new, I'm Ros, and Leanne's the one with the dark background. I didn't put their names up at all, and I'm full of them. There is new people there. So all their names with the right person. Sorry about that. So it's a thing called I'm just trying to find live shopping on here. Now, I'm going to just drop us down. I'm not sure how this works yet, besides the fact that I think from here, if I drop you out, because this is actually my stuff, I'm not dropping you out. I just turn off the video. You can hear me and we can hear you.
Yep.
Can you actually see this on your back end? You must be.
Yeah, I can.
Yeah.
I love it.
So, though that's not the first one I'm supposed to show. What it does, I'll go to the first one. I'm going to be putting this special up just for the autumn month. So whether I have it carry over to all of March or whether it's just for a week or whatnot, I haven't decided that yet. But it is a special with this free. I'm hoping I've put the poster part up correctly, but it's a 1-question mini reading. A free one of those will be included as an extra if you order or buy or book in for the $70 Egyptian Oracle reading, which is, as you can, you should be able to see on the left-hand side of this, it is I haven't got them close handy. I should have had them right. Anyway, it's a board that's got the reading table. It's in 12 houses is the reading that I'd be doing with this one in the 30 minutes. And it's because it's like anything, you really, to get proficient at something without using a guidebook all the time, you need to practice it. I will be reading from the book because it is that type of thing that I don't know what each of the hieroglyphs means yet. In that little box that's there, you can see the little box under the blue book. They're little tiles called hieroglyphs that actually are what the meaning is for that particular house. It's really fun, and I do it like a video reading like this. If you want to be in on it, fine. Otherwise, I just do it with the second camera and like we do for our live stream. And this function on this little live shopping app part of the studio, it actually lets you slide along to the next one. And that's just a special that I had before. Ignore the $20. It was just there at the time. I don't know what the price is at the moment. It's probably 30, 40. I don't know. But it's the 3-card reading that you'll get as the freebie, okay, as part of that $70 that is the Egyptian Oracle reading, okay? And the unfortunate thing with this one is it doesn't allow you to click on the links in the video. It's not that sophisticated yet. So just message me or go to the Hypnosis Plus store and I can actually put that. No, I can't because I took the flamer thing off. Hang on. Plus.com.au. Hit that link. You go to that website and it is there under services and then tarot readings or something there. I might even put the link in like you'll see on this actual slide that the details are there. I hope I put them on there. Yeah, I'll do a bit.ly link into it. So does Leanne, does links into Facebook when you put bit.lys and goo.gl or whatever, the Google shortened, the URLs, when they're shortened, does Facebook like them or not?
I think so. Yes. I'm pretty sure they do because in a course that I've just been reading up on just recently, it does talk about shortening them. So, yeah, they encourage you to.
So bit.ly is fine?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep, definitely.
Because I was watching a video the other day that actually had a few little hints and instructions about doing things into YouTube, and he said straight away, do not upload a Facebook video into YouTube. You'll get penalised. And I thought, what sort of things do Facebook penalise you for? Because I don't think they like YouTube links specifically.
Anything third party they don't like in that sense. So it's control. And so can I
bit.ly
that's it.
Which is what I do. So that's all I was
That's it. Can I just also make a comment? $70 for all that is incredible value. So you're getting a lot for a little money in that sense.
I don't just leave it at the 30 minutes most of the time.
Yeah, that's it. It could probably be closer to $100 in minimum, I would say, without the extra.
I do have the 60-minute one at 140, but I thought, well, it's probably best to start the smaller, shorter with people until they start to get used to what the Egyptian Oracle is.
That's the fascinating.
It's interesting because I'll go into more detail in my card group around that one anyway at some point when I get things organised. I'm still doing it's the crazy brain. I understand anyone that does come up with crazy brain. That monkey mind. Yeah, yes, it really does. And what have you got ahead for you?
I am back again Thursday and Friday night this week at the Fringe doing the live show. So if anybody want to get tickets to that, they're $28 each. Otherwise, I am running a special celebrating the first time of doing the Fringe of purchase 5 tickets online for the same night and you'll get a 6th ticket at the door free. So you can bring 6 people for the price of 5. So that's Thursday, Friday night until I think my last show is the 13th of March. And then we've got Sacred Awakenings event, Fringe Marker on Saturday and Sunday. So that's 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. Sunday is 10 to 3, and that's 230 Flinders Street. So certainly join us there. Lots and lots of, it's a free event. Lots of stall holders, food vans and different stuff. So it's good weekend. Good day out.
Yeah. And got to say, like your live event, like what marvellous
tomorrow. You're going to join me, aren't you?
Okay. What's that? Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh. Yeah, I'm like the Wiggles here in the background. You're joining me. Yay. We got a date, remember?
It is in my calendar. I've just got to check now. Have I put that? Yes, Leanne.
I was going to say you were going to do it straight away when we spoke about it last week.
And that's at 8:30 to
8:30. Yep, I'll send you a link once I schedule it tomorrow.
Fantastic. Thank you, everyone, for being here and being present with us. Thank you for understanding that not everybody does get a reading, unfortunately. Thank you for being so accepting and loving in how you share out and that you like our pages, and well, you keep showing up too. I think that's wonderful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, and some new people. It's great.
Yeah.
Beautiful energy.
So thank you, especially to you, Leanne, in being
Thank you.
available and sharing this time with me. And
I love it.
It is actually brought to you by, there's some of these things that I've been following and watching. You've got to see who the sponsors are and stuff. It is actually brought to you by hypnosisplus.com, not Hypnosis Plus with Rod. That's where I started with my Facebook journey, learning and doing, and then I grew into a bit of kicking in the ass from Leanne to do psychic mediumship work, and I absolutely love it. So thank you.
And she's amazing. I'm proud of her. I love watching people grow. It's amazing.
It is amazing what you can experience in actually releasing your own inhibitions and blocks around what talents and skills you do have, because everybody has the ability to tap into their psychic, intuitive side, even the mediumship. It's just some of us may or may not be on that path because it's not actually meant for us this lifetime. We all have.
That's it. Exactly.
Thanks, Leanne. So
beautiful. Thank you, everyone.
Look at my window and say, namaste. Be the best person you can until next week, 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday, or tomorrow night with Leanne's show.
With Ros, my special guest.
Yeah. Love the lady.
See you later.
We'll see you all next week or tomorrow night. Bye for now.
Bye, everyone.